We're coming, and we ain't backing down.
We don't need a bunch of cats in here looking in the mirror.
Everybody just do your job. You understand that?
Hey, will you shut up?
I'm bitterly disappointed with the officiating today.
Guys being dudes. And they run through our like through a tin horn, man.
Hey, Richard, how did the Miami Hurricanes get into this college football playoff? Because like a month ago, I went on Split Zone Duo and said Miami is out with a capital O of the playoff. Turned out I was wrong.
Well, they had to wait about 6 weeks, but finally, their head-to-head over Notre Dame was considered by the College Football Playoff Committee, and at basically the 11th hour, the final College Football Playoff rankings, they were flipped with Notre Dame, who they had spent the entire November behind. But once BYU, who was between them, lost in the Big 12 championship game, the committee newly considered the head-to-head because they were back-to-back, were Notre Dame and Miami in the rankings. And after that happened, Miami ended up in the field. In the end, all's well that ends well if you're in South Florida.
Can Miami win this thing?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah. I actually think if any seed 6 through 12, they're the only one that can win this thing.
I think I would add one other team in that range, exactly one other team in that range, and it's the team they're playing in the first round, Texas A&M, that could win it from that part of the bracket. But the reason I think Miami could get on a run and win this tournament is that football is an edge rusher's game right now in many ways. We see this reflected in who gets paid, both in the NFL and in college football now outside of the quarterback position. And Texas A&M certainly has one of the best in Cassius Howell, who I'm sure we'll talk about on the Aggie preview. But Miami's got two of the best in Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor. And if you got two guys like that, you really can't live that comfortably if you're a quarterback in college football.
No, in fact, you can barely do anything. And I would add that the rest of Miami's defensive line, Ahmad Moten, Justin Scott, really good up front and create a level of versatility and a level of ass-kickingness that it's really hard to stop. It's really hard to score against, I should say, Miami. It's really hard to move the ball against Miami. It's especially really hard to win in one-on-one pass situations against Miami. I don't know that there's an offensive line in this whole deal that can deal with that man for man. If Miami doesn't shoot itself in the foot, if Carson Beck takes care of the ball, if they can get things going at all systems, Miami's as dangerous as any team in this field.
I would agree. I think there's a real opportunity here for what would be, it's only been a couple of years, but what would be the lowest seeded team to really get on a deep run. I'm a believer myself.
Alex, this is Split Zone Duo's college football playoff preview presented by Modelo. We're going a little deeper on all the 12 teams in this bracket individually, so you'll know exactly how we feel about them. Modelo is out recruiting for full-time fans this college football season, and they know that at Split Zone Duo, they can find them. Modelo is the official beer sponsor of the college football playoff.
Richard, what is Miami's coach's deal?
Well, it's Mario Cristobal.
Because I asked that on all these previews because we're using a format, let's be honest, but I'm really interested actually in what you think of Mario Cristobal's deal, maybe more than anybody else as we go into this tournament.
I think you have to give the great man credit for, one, going back to the drawing board with his defense. Out was Lance Guidry, in Corey Heatherman, and they are at a spot right now where they are really, really solid on defense. It's proved it's the bedrock as far as how this thing goes. I think it needed to be a complete Miami team in order for them to make this run. This Miami team has been boring for the most part this season. And I've said that complimentary pretty much all season, right? Last year it was ups and downs. It was a high wattage offense. It was very turnover prone. It was too interesting. This year, it's been normal. They've kept the lid on it for the most part, except the couple times when they've tripped up. But for the most part, this has been a complete Miami team that takes care of business for the most part, week in, week out.
Tell me about a player who people should know about on this Miami team.
Well, you've already mentioned Ruben Bain, who's tremendous at edge rusher for Miami. Even though the sack total may not actually be there, you just gotta watch this guy. I mean, watch this guy snap in, snap out for Miami, and you'll realize he's a different dude. And even at the size he is, he's still a different dude. But on offense, the player to look for is obviously Malachi Toney. He is absolutely immense for them at receiver. He is in many ways, shapes, and form like what makes this offense go. He is their get out of jail free card, catches everything.
And you mean everything, by the way. Everything.
Yeah.
His
Everything.
drop rate is 0.0% on over 100 targets as a freshman.
I mean, the guy can even catch a cold. I mean, 970 yards receiving this year, and he had a noticeable uptick after midseason. So he's just a guy that they have been force feeding the ball, especially down the stretch. And, the Virginia Tech game, for instance, get out of jail free card. The Pitt game, for instance, weren't necessarily in jail there, but a get out of jail free card. The Louisville game that they lost, get out of jail free card. He's been absolutely immense for them. Also returns punts as well.
Yeah, great player. Going to have a great future in the sport. Miami should have wide receivers this good. The sport feels a little bit more like the game of my youth when Miami has a wide receiver like Malachi Toney. They've had some great ones in recent years. Richard, give me one really interesting factoid about this Miami Hurricanes football team.
Well, I'll give you two. Not only was Malachi Toney moonlighting at quarterback in high school, he should also still be in high school. He's one of those guys who reclassified, should be a senior in high school right now, but he's with the Miami Hurricanes, and he is leading the Miami Hurricanes on what could very well be a deep run in the college football playoff. Alex, Modelo is the official beer sponsor of the playoff, and we thank them for taking part in the show this season. We'll see you soon. This has been part of Split Zone Duo's College Football Playoff Preview presented by Modelo.